chapter 6, verse 11 says, "Put on the full armor of God, so that you can make your stand against the devil's schemes." A soldier that's going into battle will pay very close attention to his or her gear and weapons. Failing to pay close attention would cost the soldier serious injuries or even their life. In the Bible, we see that we're given war apparel, which implies that we are at war. But this war is not against nations or armies, but against present darkness and spiritual forces in the heavenly places, like it states in Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. First is the command to put on the full armor of God. You see, we don't get to pick and choose which part of the armor we want, but we have to put on the full armor that God's given us. Second, he tells us why we need to put on the full armor of God. He says, so that you may make your stand against the devil's schemes. Now this tells me that your enemy is strategizing against you and scheming against you. What are you going to do? Sit back and let what may happen happen? Or will you get dressed up for the battle today? Let me give you a few verses that describes this beautiful armor of God that's provided for you and me. It says in Ephesians chapter 6, verse 14, "Stand therefore, having fastened on the belt of truth, and having put on the breastplate of righteousness, and as shoes for your feet, having put on the readiness given by the gospel of peace. In all circumstances take up the shield of faith, with which you can extinguish all the flaming darts of the evil one, and take on the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, praying at all times in the Spirit with all prayer and supplication." What are the battles that you have been failing at, and how are you going to face them today? Dressed for the battle? I sure hope so. I'm praying for you. Stand firm.